Through the state of Ohio, so many goods and services flow. ODOT is just integral to all of that, even if it's sometimes behind the scenes. But if ODOT wasn't out there keeping those roads safe, along with our local partners, you would know. My plans are, one, is to continue the good works of the directors who have come before me. It's to continue to work with all of these great folks that we've got here to keep that mission going and honor that mission.
So we're sitting down with new director Pamela Boratyn, and I guess first of all, welcome back to ODOT. This is not your first time at ODOT, but
thank you.
Talk about your history in transportation. I mean, this is something you've done for a while.
Yeah. Well, so I have 37 years in government, and of that, over 20 has been related somehow to transportation. So in the mid-90s, I was the chief of the transportation section in the Attorney General's office. So that's where I got to know ODOT well, because we were very, very busy in the 90s. We had a heyday of eminent domain cases, taking property for expansions and improvements. We had 1,000 cases. So I got to know a lot of the people in the districts, and at that time you had regional real estate offices. So I knew the regional people and the district folks, and a lot of people who were here, Jerry Ray, but some of these people I think have retired, Doug Maitland, Jim Vio, Rand Howard. There's a whole host of people that we worked with. We also represented ODOT in a lot of environmental litigation, because a lot of environmental things were new at that time too. And we had a lot of bid disputes, so we were down in courts with contractors who were saying I should have got that project, or not this person should have got that project. So we had a lot of those things. So I got to know that side of ODOT from just handling cases and working with all the attorneys who handled them. Then I spent 3 years as a safety service director in the city of Reynoldsburg. Well, there I had the streets department, the water department, the sewer department, and the police department all reported to me as the safety service director, and I worked very closely with the city engineer who was at Reynoldsburg. And that's kind of a mini district type, or an ODOT is certainly at the local level of how they operate. And then of course I came back here as assistant director of BHR, Business and Human Resources, and chief of staff. So in that role, I got to know really more internally about ODOT by working with, I had the HR and the IT and all the business operations, and interfaced, with basically all everybody across the central office and at the district office. So that gave me more experience of just the day-to-day types of operations for ODOT.
Well, very cool. Well, we're happy to have you back.
So with that experience, why is ODOT important to the state?
Okay, so ODOT is very important because it truly is the crossroads of America. So we're within 1 day of 60% of the population of the United States and the Canadian populations. Through the state of Ohio, so many goods and services flow. So ODOT has to maintain the 5th most number of interstate lane miles. We have the 7th in freight travel. They're all important because these are connecting people, goods to goods and services, businesses to people, all of our local governments together with all, providing a service. ODOT is just integral to all of that, even if it's sometimes behind the scenes, but it's really, you see the importance, it's not behind the scenes when you're in operation. So when you see the potholes being filled, when you see the lighting being taken care of on the streets, when you see crash cleanup, when you see us working with our first responders and cleaning up landslides, or working on tornadoes, or picking up storms damage. When the winter operations, if ODOT wasn't out there keeping those roads safe, along with our local partners, you would know. So that's why I think ODOT is vitally important. It has a mission, and that mission is we have a safe, well-maintained, accessible, and positioned for the future infrastructure. And that shows you right there why it's important. Keeping people safe, they've got to be able to access everything they need, and it's important to economic development as well. So that's important.
Absolutely. You left and then have now come back, so you've got a good gauge, I think, on what makes ODOT such a great place to work. What do you think is the reason that ODOT's such a wonderful place to work?
That is an easy answer. What makes ODOT a wonderful place to work are its people. It's the people. I just talked about how important ODOT is to the state. Well, none of that would happen if it weren't for the people who are dedicated, the very dedicated people who work here and work with other partners to do things, our heavy highway partners, our local government officials. But the people at ODOT are what make this such a great place to work. And when I was here before, I remember giving a talk, And I said, ODOT are helpers. They're what I call the helpers. So if everybody remembers Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, his story of his mother told him once, you know, when things look bad, when it seems dark and there's not a lot of hope, look for the helpers. As long as you see those helpers, you know things are going to get better, and you know there'll be some normalcy come back. Well, that's what ODOT is. That's what ODOT people are. They're the helpers. They're helping our first responders. They're helping with all the things that happen, but they also have this big heart, because I've seen in ODOT, they help their communities. The people at ODOT are invested in their communities, and the charity that goes on with the people at ODOT is just amazing. So you couldn't do all the things in ODOT if you did not have the people who are dedicated to the mission.
Absolutely. So what are your plans as ODOT director?
So my plans are, one, is to continue the good works of the directors who have come before me. It's to continue to work with all of these great folks that we've got here to keep that mission going and honor that mission. It's to work with our local officials and our communities and our local leaders and our legislature, all of our partners, to make sure that we are providing the service that the state of Ohio and the people who live in it and the people who are coming through it and going other places expect. That's really, I think, is my plan, is just to do the job and try to do what's expected. We have to meet the future as it's coming to us. We have to do more, work harder. There's always going to be a limited amount of funds. So you want to try and take the money that you've got and with innovation, expand that money to do the best that you can with what we got.
Absolutely. Well, it's a pleasure to have you back. We appreciate your time to sit down with us here for a few minutes and take some time out to talk to us. And we're looking forward to the next several years of working with you.
Well, I appreciate that. I look forward to working with everybody here at ODOT. And as I said, I'm very honored to be back. I feel blessed that, you know, I'm stepping back in, that I've got so many great people that are going to support. And this is not me. This is all of us together that are going to make it a success for the next 2 years. I thank you for the interview.
Absolutely.